All right. This week in gaming. Welcome in, everybody. It's June 1st, 2025. We're going to be talking about some gaming stuff that happened in the past week. And let's start off with some wins and fails. We have quite a bit. Oh, boy. Let me try to pop this out a little bit so you can read it. I didn't realize I was covering part of the screen. Wins and fails. Baby blows Bucks. Revived rumors. Retroactive regrets, done deal, and doomed disaster. So we actually have 5 wins and fails today, and you guys will see what that is in a little bit. Let's how's the gaming look if I switch to that? Oh, it covers up part of the screen. So our first fail of the week is Baby No Money censors Asmongold. This was kind of crazy. I didn't see this coming. Baby No Money released his newest music video for Mary Poppins. And this week it included many streamers from the group OTK. I think it stands for One True King, which is it's a pretty big streamer group. It used to have Asmongold in it. It has Emiru. It used to have Wilnev, who also left. And then this guy over here. There's a lot of people in it. I don't remember all their names, but they're pretty big streamers. However, it appears that he decided to retroactively censor Asmongold by placing an image of a lizard over his face. So you can see Asmongold's in the middle right here. He's got like a little lizard thing going on. This was weird to me, if I'm being honest. Like I'm not sure what the point is. Like I feel like if you're gonna record the video with him, you might as well keep him in it. But he, at the very beginning, it includes this disclaimer that says, at the time of recording, I was unaware of certain individuals' ethical beliefs. As a result, I've chosen to censor those whose values I do not support. He can't even name him for some reason. Additionally, all funds generated by this video will be donated to PCRF. It's really weird, too. I feel like he is only doing the donation thing to try to protect himself from criticism. I've seen that a lot. That's a very common thing. Like you see that with the with Creator Clash, where you're not allowed to criticize it because it's a charity event, even though they literally make $0 for charity. So I don't know. I don't see the reason for the donations, especially like is he donating because he decided to censor someone? Like that's so weird to include that in the same disclaimer. Yeah, I don't know. He doesn't donate the proceeds from other music videos, does he? I don't know. I guess there's not a real reason to fixate on that. I think just the fact that he wouldn't name Asmongold and he just says certain individuals' beliefs, and I've chosen to censor those whose values I do not support. And it's really strange that he chose Asmongold for this, because there's a lot of people here that deserve to be censored more than him. I would argue. So if he's going to censor those, so assuming that means that he supports all the other people's views. I've chosen to censor those whose values I do not support. That means all these uncensored people have values he does support. Which, I mean, it started a big backlash. Many fans and detractors alike criticized the decision, with many of them asking questions such as, hang on, let me change this. Such as how long before he has to censor everyone in this video. That was exactly what I was getting at. This is especially shocking as BB Nos once claimed Asmongold was his favorite streamer, even going as far as painting an image of him on his chest. As you can see here, I mean, it's a huge about face and kind of snaky, if you ask me. But this led to a pretty divisive like-dislike ratio. You can tell I was one of the dislikes. I didn't particularly like it. I felt like it was really snaky and weird, especially considering he's pretty close with Hassan. I don't know. Maybe No Money's he's had a strange shift into politics lately, which is fine. I mean, I'm pretty liberal, I would say, but it's almost cringy. While there's nothing wrong with having a political stance, Babino's recent takes have tilted closer to virtue signaling than activism. And censoring Asmongold because he has a different opinion, and leaving someone like Mizkif, which was also in the video, uncensored, who helped cover up a sexual assault and intimidated the victim, just shows he cares about optics, not ethics. You know, Mizkif doesn't have any controversy right now, so obviously he doesn't get censored, but considering he didn't censor him, that means he does believe in all of his views, which means he does believe in intimidating sexual assault victims. So that's cool. That's good to know. Here you can see him pictured with Hassan, a literal terrorist propagandist, which is crazy. I find this really disturbing, considering I like Baby No Money. And I like his music. I don't think that this is particularly a good route for him to be going down. It's totally fine to use your platform to try to spread like a positive political message, but the message that he's spreading is not positive right now. I don't know if your music is on. Might be hitting the copyright on YouTube. Huh? This should be no copyright sounds. It is on though. Let me restart the playlist just to make sure. You can't hear it? Wait, what do you mean you can't hear it? It's really quiet. But it is on. You can even see it up there. Baseline. Yeah, I can hear it, but I didn't know if it was copyright. No, I intentionally didn't choose copyright music, but thank you. You had me worried for a second. But that also reminds me of this video from Baby No Money.
My whole family's here right now.
This
is really sick.
Interested
I
in politics.
Juno in my hometown, so everybody, thank you guys so much. I love you all very much. Also, Elon Musk is a piece of garbage.
I don't disagree with it, but it's interesting, like how anytime he has some sort of speaking position, he immediately wants to bring politics into it nowadays, which is unfortunately the case lately. I also follow him on social media, and it's been similar on there. I think he made a post about freeing Palestine or something. Also, sorry, I'm still sick right now. I need to blow my nose before I sneeze. I can feel it coming. But yeah, I don't know. I think that he should shift to more of a moderate take. He's going way too hard on like leftist extremism, to the point where it's like, if anybody's further right than me, I'm gonna censor them from my music videos. If you like Donald Trump, you're not allowed to be in my music video. Speaking of music, because I stopped it. So yeah, I would urge, if like, you know, if I was friends with Baby No Money, I would try to be like, yo, try to, like, it's cool to be into liberal politics and to have a cause that you believe in, but try to be a little bit more moderate and a little bit less I don't know, less willing to cancel somebody. Anyways, that's just the first fail that we have. We have a lot more to cover, so let's get on with it. We have a Half-Life 3 potential rumor. We talked about this a couple weeks ago, but it's getting even heavier. There's a lot of evidence that shows that Half-Life 3 is not only in development, but finishing development. Tyler McVicker, a YouTuber known for finding information about Valve, has shared a rumor that Half-Life 3... Holy shit! That scared me. He shared a rumor that Half-Life 3 may be announced any day now. Yeah, kind of exciting, right? If you like Half-Life 3, I mean, the meme is actually happening. It might be a reality. This is especially shocking as Valve has made no announcements about the game, even being produced or let alone near release, as this person is alleging. However, the insider claims that the game is in the final polishing stage based on the data mined files. And here's the video from the guy who actually found
Source
this.
2 support for meshlets, surface properties having attributes specifically related to vehicle-based gameplay, vehicle transportation for both the player and NPCs, and vice versa, meaning the player can be in vehicles that are driven by NPCs, and NPCs can be in vehicles driven by the player. Electrical interactions being another simulated system in the same way that we have flammability and material deformation. We now have strings related to electrification of surfaces and props. The ability to control the elements, quote unquote, fire and electricity and water and ice, was something that was originally tried for episode 3 and then again for Half-Life 3 in 2013, and now it seems
the leaks
to definitely
did have an ice gun. So it seems like there's going to be electricity, there's going to be fire and frozen mechanics, which is really cool. this was just part of the video. I didn't want to show his entire video, but these are some of the updates that we found to Source 2. So they're actively updating the engine, and people believe it's for Half-Life 3. It seems like the most obvious choice. There's been a lot of rumors about it. We've gotten a lot of Half-Life 3 content. Like, we have literally, I don't know if you guys remember, but a few weeks, like I think a few months ago, we had actual footage of Half-Life 3 when it was being developed years ago. Obviously it's not going to look like that anymore because it looked like Half-Life 2, but it's really incredible, the amount of things that are coming out, and it's something I never thought would happen. Half-Life 3 is like, what, almost, how long has it been? Like 20 years? It's probably been decades since people were expecting Half-Life 3. It's been so long that people have, like, the hype was super high, and now it's like actually gone. Like, people don't really care anymore. What is with the silent drops lately? Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. It seems to be really popular. I mean, Bethesda's doing it. Apparently, there's going to be another silent drop with Assassin's Creed. Maybe not silent, but there's going to be a surprise coming, because there's supposed to be another Assassin's Creed game coming out this year. We just got Shadows, but there's also supposedly going to be another Assassin's Creed project. I don't know if it's going to be related to Shadows. They did tease, is that Hexy? I don't know what you're talking about, Hexy. There is going to be potentially a Black Flag remaster. They did tease that, supposedly. They showed an image of it. Ubisoft did. I didn't include that in this week's gaming news, but it's worth mentioning. What I believe is they're gonna do another shadow drop with Assassin's Creed Black Flag remastered. So yeah, we're getting a lot of stuff like that, which I don't think is a bad idea. I think it's kind of annoying when they announce things like years out. Like, remember how long ago they announced the Elder Scrolls 6, and like that game, we don't even know if it's being developed. We don't even know if it's being developed. Do you remember how long ago Cyberpunk was announced? The reveal trailer was in like 2013 or something like that. It took like 10 years for that fucking game to come out. And so I would rather it just be like, hey, this is the game that we're making, and it's coming out in like 4 months, or it's coming out in 1 month, or it's coming out next week, or it's out right now. Like, I prefer that. I think that's way cooler. I don't like having to like be like excited for something and then be like, oh, gotta wait now. It's gonna take like a year before I get to play it. I don't even care. Assassin's Creed Hex, they released a trailer 2 years ago. Oh, maybe. I didn't even know about that. It could be that. But I know that there's more Assassin's Creed plans coming. That's interesting. I've never heard of that. Thank you for letting me know. I'll have to look into that. If that's the case, I might do a segment on that on next week's gaming news, because that could be worth exploring. Anyways, the next fail is he apologized. In an extremely long X post, Randy Pitchford offered an apology claiming there was a misunderstanding after claiming real fans will make it happen to pay for an $80 game. It would have been shorter to publish his apology in a novel. Long story short, the misunderstanding is that he doesn't understand the working class. It's really long. You can pause the video and read it here if you'd like. Here, let me expand it a little bit. You can read it here. It's really not worth reading. The thing is basically like, yeah. Oh, sorry, I bumped the microphone. The thing is basically, I'll summarize it for you. Yeah, we wish it was cheaper, but economy and inflation and whatnot. But I didn't mean to be me. I didn't mean to I don't know, what does he say? I didn't mean to trigger. He didn't mean to trigger some people by calling them real fans. I didn't like his apology. It didn't work for me. It didn't seem genuine. It just seemed like he realized he fucked up and was doing damage control. That's all it is. So that's why I gave it a fail, and it's way too long. And he immediately got ratioed. He got 200 likes on his post, and someone replied with 495. And he says, if you respected the players so much as you claim and further have been doing this for as long as you claim, you wouldn't have said, if you're a real fan, you'll make it happen. This is not the kind of mistake a good CEO makes, respectfully. Gaslighting and acting like it was, and then it continues on. This is like 3 or 4 paragraphs long, but his response summarizes it pretty well. He basically says that, you know, if you're a CEO, there's no chance that you haven't had some sort of PR training. So like you should have known better. And he explains like how bad optically it was, and how his apology wasn't really a good one. And that's about it. Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate. I've seen stuff popping up about it the last few days. It's rumored to have witches in Assassin's Creed. That's pretty cool. And that makes sense why it's called Hex. That's pretty cool. Then we have a win. Bethesda's union deal. I'll just keep it. I'll read from the text that's covered. ZeniMax earned another win this week by reaching an agreement after 2 years of negotiations. So they started their union 2 years ago in 2023, and they've been negotiating ever since. This sets a positive example for other studios, and when asked about it, the union president had this to say. Whether it's having a say about the use of AI in the workplace, fighting for significant wage increases and fair crediting policies, or protecting our workers from retaliation, our members have raised the bar, which is really good. And this isn't the first Microsoft group that's unionized. In fact, all the unions are under Microsoft now, which is crazy. Because you have a Bethesda union, you have an Overwatch union, you also have a separate Blizzard union. And I saw on the article there was a 4th union that's under Microsoft, but I don't remember what studio it was. It was one that I didn't recognize. So yeah, they have a lot of unions that are forming under Microsoft, and I don't blame them. Microsoft's been axing jobs like crazy. What needs to happen next is Sony needs to start having some of their devs unionized, because Sony has been going crazy with layoffs. Sony and EA have been really bad, and I expect Ubisoft will be laying off soon as well. The only studio right now that's actually actively hiring and growing is CD Projekt Red. It's the only one. But it's not all roses, because Bethesda also earned a fail. The Doom commercial failure. Unfortunately, at Bethesda, things aren't the best, because their latest game, Doom: The Dark Ages, has potentially sold less than 1 million copies. Despite boasting 3 million players, 2.2 million of those were through Game Pass. This immediately draws comparison to Expedition 33, another game that launched on Game Pass, which sold a fitting 3.3 million copies. You can't really use the Game Pass excuse, like, oh, we didn't sell very many copies because everyone's playing through Game Pass. Sure, they may all be playing through Game Pass, but there's clearly a lack of incentive to buy your game. People would rather, pay the subscription fee than pay I think it's $70 for Doom: The Dark Ages. People just weren't willing to buy it. As you can see here on Xbox, the amount of people buying it or playing it through Game Pass is insane. Look at that. It's not very good. Even on PlayStation, they only sold 0.2 million copies, and on Steam, 0.4 million. They're not really moving units. 0.2 on Xbox. It would really appear that people aren't willing to buy this game. And it's probably because it's just so expensive. Like, I think Doom is probably worth $40, but the thing is, the campaign is short. There's not really much of a multiplayer scene. And, I don't know, it just feels like a game that would work better as like a $40 model. I know that they put a lot of work into it, and I'm not saying that it's not worth $70. But there's a certain limit, I think, that people expect replayability for $70. If I'm paying $70 for a game, I expect to play it for like years. Like, I expect to be excited to play it, 10 years from now, right? Like, I still play. What's a $70 game I play? I don't think I own many $70 games. I mean, a AAA game that I still play. What's the best value I've ever gotten for a video game that isn't like free to play? I mean, Star Citizen is a good one. I've been playing Star Citizen for years. Now, but yeah, I can't even think of one. Oh, I mean, No Man's Sky. I paid $60 on launch for No Man's Sky, and I still play that game. How many years later? Like at least 7 or 8 years later. I've consistently played that ever since launch. I don't know. I don't think that Doom's like really, because it's also the third one. Like I don't go back and play Doom 2016. I don't know. Kind of a fail, I would say. But I mean, there's still a lot of people playing it. Like it's really hot on Game Pass, obviously. Like people are really enjoying it on Game Pass. But I think that they gotta get their pricing better. No Man's Sky doesn't even feel that old. Shake my head. Ooh, I think it's older than I even said. No Man's Sky release date. Oh, it was August 9th, 2016. That game came out almost 9 years ago. Almost 9. Like 8 and like 10 months. That makes me feel old, right? Oh man, it's an old game. Anyways, let's move on. We have our Zelda casting controversy. I didn't give this a win or a fail because it doesn't feel fair to give it that. Because it's a complex issue. I don't think that it's like a win or a fail, and I'll explain why. Some people really didn't like this. Not gonna lie, I still see Shadow of Mordor as a new game, right? Shadow of Mordor is also an old one. So the Zelda live-action adaptation has drawn ire from fans, as Nintendo is reportedly considering Hunter Schafer, a trans actress, to play Zelda. Many gamers have predictably deemed this decision as woke. However, biological men have played women for hundreds of years. And the actress arguably looks exactly like Zelda. They're pictured here. And then this is Zelda. This is a drawing of Zelda from Breath of the Wild. For example, did you guys know that all Shakespeare plays, including not just Shakespeare, but all like Victorian era plays, were played by men? Men played every single role, even the female ones. So this isn't like a new thing. Like the idea of having a man play like as a woman isn't unheard of, and there's nothing really wrong with it. As long as the casting, I guess, is fine. I don't have an issue with it. But obviously people are gonna get upset by it. I mean, like, if they casted Zelda as like a black trans woman, then it would be like crazy. Like, it's like clearly you're not trying to make it look like the character. You're just trying to make it like a political statement, right? But the person looks like Zelda. I do have to admit, they do look a lot like Zelda. And here's the post. This person's the one who broke the news. Hunter Schafer is reportedly being eyed to play Princess Zelda in the live-action Legend of Zelda film. And it has 61.7 million views on Twitter. The comments are crazy. A lot of people are praising it, though. I will say a lot of people seem pretty open-minded to it. I don't really mind it. I think the only real issue here is very superficial. I think that there are a lot of men that are going to want to watch like a live action Zelda, and they're gonna want to fantasize about her. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna want to like imagine fucking this character, like most gaming coomers are. And this is a really bad argument for why it should be played by a woman, but it is a realistic thing. I think there are some people that are not going to want to watch it because they want to fantasize about a real Zelda. And it might give them a little bit of a conflict if this is a biological man. You know what I mean? They might feel kind of gay watching it. So like straight men, straight like incels are not going to want to watch this film, I would imagine. Now the question is, do you want those people watching your film? And the answer is actually probably. You probably do. I think that's a large portion of the fan base, I would say. So, I don't know. I think that could be the only realistic drawback, and that's something I don't think a lot of people want to say out loud. And I understand that, but realistically, there's a certain level of like sex factor that they're going to lose by having a trans actor play as Zelda. And but at the same time, there are some people that might even it might actually do something for them. You know what I mean? Like that might actually be a benefit to some coomers out there. So I don't know. That's my really dark take on that. I think that's the one drawback I could imagine. But other than that, like, I really don't have an issue with Zelda being played by anyone as long as it looks like Zelda, right? And sounds like Zelda. I mean, like, I have never heard Hunter speak, but if they were like, "Yo, what's up? I'm Zelda," I'd be like, "Okay, you're not Zelda." You know what I mean? LOL. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't have as much of an issue with it as most other people do, and I'm a big Zelda fan. I mean, I like Zelda. You know, say what you want. I'm a bit of a Zelda fan. I forgot I was even wearing this. Nice. Yeah. I like I like Zelda. I have a heart container too. So, I don't know. I think for me, it would be cool to see like a live action like Zelda woman play it, just for that Cooper aspect. But at the same time, like, if you really want to get like that into Rule 34, I guarantee you there are plenty of cosplay NSFWs out there that will meet those needs. We don't need that with the live action film. But yeah, I'm gonna move on before it gets too Coomer-esque, too incel-y. Moving on, GameStop. I don't like the background for this. It's a little bit confusing for the text, but I'll read it out to you guys. GameStop gambles investor funds. This is crazy. So, GameStop purchased $500 million worth of Bitcoin this week, causing their stock to drop 10%, and I think it dropped a total of 16% overall, but it instantly dropped 10% due to unhappy investors. Why? Well, GameStop is a company that hasn't been profitable since October 2018. It's been 7 years of unprofitability, and therefore must exist solely on income generated from investor funds, mostly from retail traders, which is through their stock. They famously survived through the generosity of retail investors during the 2021 short squeeze and have been riding that high ever since. GameStop here's a graph of their profitability, by the way. As you can see, October 2018, they went into unprofitability and have never recovered. You can see right here, they're kind of breaking even. As of 2024, they're just losing a small amount, but that's not good. That's awful, actually. They have been a net negative for 7 years. Could you imagine any company not making money for 7 years? The only reason that they even have $500 million to spend on Bitcoin is because they have so much stock investors, so many people giving them their money, and they're reaping those rewards. They're not going to make that money back on Bitcoin. I really don't think so. They literally bought it at $110 million, right? It was like 111 million or 111,000. Sorry. The literal all-time peak of Bitcoin. I don't see it growing that much more in the coming years. I mean, it might bottom out. You never know. Like, I feel like it's a little bit higher than it should be. I mean, at least buy it when it kind of drops or something, right? But, you know, that's I was gonna say it's their money, but it's really not. So I think that's crazy. And it's just kind of like, it's really obvious what the leadership at GameStop is thinking, because they're not trying to innovate or like actually earn money as a business. Their only focus is on how to earn money in like the sleaziest way possible. And it's frustrating. They're not willing to actually put in any work to earn some more funds back, to try to earn profitability. They're trying like weird fucking methods. Like, they tried buying that company Chewy a while back, and I don't think that ever went anywhere. It's like they don't know how to make money, so they're trying to get into crypto now. I'm surprised GameStop hasn't made a cryptocurrency. Let's ban that person. They should have become a publisher. I don't think that's a good idea either. I think they would also lose money there. I don't see that working out at all. I I honestly don't know how they pivot and make money. I really don't. Collectibles is a good idea. Trading cards maybe is a good idea. I don't know. It's difficult. It was a good idea for them to pivot into like retro electronics, I think. But that's also kind of a difficult thing because you can't offer warranties, and sometimes it's difficult to tell what the quality and like life is left on like a retro console, like an old N64. So selling those can kind of be give and take. But realistically, if I was GameStop, how would I, and I'm not profitable, what would I do to fix it? That's a great question. I think that they still have a lot of retail space, and I would try to find some way to make retail like worth it, right? And I'm not sure what I would do. Like perhaps, I don't know. They could do like something like, they could do something like how Pizza Hut became just like delivery locations where like you don't really have like a lobby anymore. You just have like a back room. Maybe they could just keep product in their locations and deliver most of their goods. I don't know, like Amazon. They could pivot to like a delivery service maybe that delivers you like gaming products or something. Like how cool would it be to get like next day service on a new controller or something? Hi. I don't know. That's just like something that I just came up with right there. That's a free idea for them. But realistically, they're in a really difficult position because like the value of a retail store is going significantly down. Like everything's being pivoted towards like online retailers. So I don't know how they get out of this, but it's not through fucking buying $500 million of Bitcoin. Jeez, that's insane. Anyways, Elden Ring Night Rain launched this week. Night Rain released to mixed reviews, becoming the lowest rated Soulsborne game of all time with a 77 on Metacritic. Many gamers are divided, with some liking the format while others do not. One big criticism is the ability to play solo or in threes, but there is no ability to play in duos. So if you have one friend, you can't play together. If you have two friends, you can't. So a lot of people, I think, are finding out that they don't have a second person to play with them. So that's kind of an issue. There's also no cross-platform support, making it even more difficult to find three people, limiting how many of your friends you might be able to queue up with. So overall, kind of an L, actually. But there are a lot of people that enjoy the game. I mean, it's Elden Ring. Like, it's got solid combat. It's got cool bosses and explorability. However, a lot of people have complained that you don't get enough time to explore. Like you get dropped in, you try to explore, and then you're immediately being attacked by a boss. So I don't know. It's not. I don't think it's necessarily a bad game. It seems like they executed it well enough. It's just I think it's sort of a genre that people didn't want from this studio. I think it's just like something that no one asked for. Damn, no crossplay is bad for a game of Elden Ring standards. A game that relies on multiplayer with no crossplay. What the hell? Yeah, no, that's crazy. Let me actually double check that. Elden Ring Night Rain crossplay. It will not have full crossplay, meaning players on different console families cannot play together. However, it will feature crossplay within PlayStation and Xbox. Okay, so it's only consoles that can play. Okay, so I guess there's a slight crossplay, but if you're on PC, you're fucked. So I don't know. There's a bit of give and take with this. I don't think that they executed it as well as they could have. Yeah, fuck us, right? I think it's because they're afraid of us cheating. There are a lot of people that can use, I guess, hacks on PC. Ultimately though, I don't know. Does it deserve the mixed rating that it has on Steam? I don't think so. I think that there are a lot of people that like it plenty enough, but I don't think it's for everybody. I really don't. Which is, I guess, disappointing. I think a lot of people have a very high standard for FromSoft. A lot of people are saying it's not worth the entry price though. I mean, how much is Elden Ring Night Rain? Elden Ring Night Rain. Can I... Hello? There it is. $40. $40 isn't too bad. But some people are saying it's like it should have just been a DLC. That's what I'm seeing a lot, is people claiming it should have just been a DLC. Ah! Sorry, that was the trailer playing. They did have a really cool Evanescence trailer though. And people are joking about how they made an AMV of their own game. So I don't know, it's got cool vibes, and it's got like a lot of like fun bosses, but just not really there in terms of I don't know, pushing the genre forward, I guess. Anyways, next up, in speaking of Star Citizen, Star Citizen is having a job listing for their new game Squadron 42. Cloud Imperium Games put up a job listing for Squadron 42, the single-player spin-off of Star Citizen, and they're searching for console devs, implying that the game could be coming to more platforms than just PC. With this in mind, it is also increasingly likely that the game will still be a long way from release. At least they're hiring again after the 2024 layoffs, though. They did have some massive layoffs, as everybody else has been having, but it looks like they're looking to start hiring again. And I don't know, I'm not really excited for Squadron 42. I don't really care. Like, I don't even really want to play a single player Star Citizen game. Like, maybe if it's really, really good and like other people keep telling me that like I should play it because they're having so much fun, then I'll play it. Like, that's what it's going to take to get me to play it. But I only want to play Star Citizen. And I'm actually kind of frustrated that they're spending so much time on this fucking game when they should be making Star Citizen better. They should be focusing all of their resources into the actual game that people are playing and paying money for. That's my opinion. Anyways, moving on. Marathon has a delay coming. A delay to Bungie's Marathon is expected after a marketing insider indicated that Sony has canceled all of their marketing for the project. This comes after a poor beta reception, morale issues, and an art theft scandal. We already covered all that stuff, but it's not looking good. And it looks like they're probably gonna to postpone the game, which I think is a good thing. Like, they still have a chance. The game hasn't released yet, so it's not like people hate it. But it's not in a good light, so they really need to go back to the drawing board and change some things. I think that's an absolute necessity. There's no way that the game launches in its current state and is a success in any way, shape, or form. And here's the Reddit post that this comes from. According to Colin Moriarty, Sony has no marketing plans for Marathon in the next quarter. I was told by someone familiar with marketing plans in key overseas market that there are now no plans to do paid marketing for Marathon at all. I don't know if those plans were affected by what has recently happened or if that was always the plan or whatever, but it's considered a fairly unusual move for a game of this high profile. So there's no chance that they're releasing this game without any marketing. It's just not going to happen. My expectation is that they canceled all the marketing and are preparing to delay it. It has to be the plan. It has to be. If they cancel all the marketing and then they still release it, like, Sony's dumber than I thought. Like, maybe they just are, but I don't see that happening. Makes sense. Yeah, I think that they're just like, that's the first thing I would do if I'm planning to delay a game. The first thing I would do would be to cancel all the marketing things, cancel all the merchandise, and then try to like figure out what the team is gonna do. Start doing a lot of meetings and figuring out where you need to go with the project, and then announce the cancellation, or not cancellation, but just postpone. Because you also have to like give people an idea of like, hey, is this gonna be a year? Is this gonna be 2 years? Is this gonna be a month? Like, you know, like you have to get numbers out. So I think that's what's going on internally over there. They're trying to search for any more stolen art, and then they're trying to like ask the devs internally, like, hey, like, it's clear that people are not liking our messaging, they're not liking our product. What is your opinion on how we can make this better? I mean, I would hope that they would ask the devs, but they're probably only asking like the project managers. But there's probably a lot of internal talks right now, like, what do we need to do to fix this? So I would be shocked if the game still came out on the release date that they're expecting it to. Next up, we have more EA layoffs. More heads are rolling at EA after the closure of Cliffhanger Games, a studio that was working on a Black Panther game. This was a really interesting one because this dev studio famously talked about how they only would hire black people, which is like, I don't know. I think that's kind of racist. Like, even if it's like a Black Panther game, I feel like you're not allowed to do that. Like, if I was making like Coco, like a Coco game for Disney, I wouldn't say like, hey, I'm only hiring Mexicans. Like, I don't think that would be proper. I don't think that would be acceptable. And I know how white my complexion is, but I am a Mexican, and I wouldn't even do that shit. That seems racist to me. So, they're also planning to lay off a further 400 developers. With so many skeleton studios under that publisher, the main question is, what are they going to make anymore? Like, what do you even make when you don't have any workers to make things? Well, apparently their focus is now on Formula 1 2025 and Need for Speed. Yay! Oh, wow. Yeah, they moved a lot of these, a lot of the devs that they still have under their control. They moved them over to the EA Sports division, which is, I mean, fuck me, right? Like, when's the last time I played an EA Sports game? It's actually really sad. I don't think there's anything that EA is outputting anymore that's like good. You know what I mean? Like, when's the last time EA made a good game? Like, I can't think of a single time. I don't think there is like one in recent memory. Oh my gosh, I have to look it up. EA games. Recent games. Okay. These are the games that they made recently. We have Dragon Age The Veilguard, EA Sports FC, and NHL 2025, Madden 2025, Formula 1 2024, Tales of Constipation, Zal, EA Sports World Rally Cup. What? So many EA Sports? Are they just the sports game fucking place now? Good lord. EA Sports FC 20, Madden, Immortals of Avium, Super Mega Baseball, Jedi Survivor. Okay, that's a decent game. Dead Space, the remake, that was okay, but it's a remake of a good game, so of course it's going to be okay. Need for Speed Unbound, that sucked. Yeah. I guess they're just the sports game company now. Fuck me, these all suck. Wild Hearts? I don't know. What do they have in here? Latest games. Oh, Split Fiction. Okay, that's a good one actually. That's a W for them. If they published it, I don't think they made it though. They just have a studio under them that made that. Dragon Age: The Veilguard. Nope, not it. A lot of sports games. A lot of sports games. I'm not gonna go into their genres. Yeah. Oops. Oh my gosh, I've been clicking. Oh no. Fuck. I just showed off every single next slide. My bad. I don't know what the hell happened there. Yeah, you didn't see anything. But yeah, spoilers. I know. Yeah. So chaos is going on at EA. They're just focusing on the only thing that makes them money anymore, which is all the normies playing like their Madden NFL yearly game. Basically paying $70 for a yearly subscription to Madden NFL plus all the microtransactions. I don't see EA having any sort of creative talent left. Like, who at EA has any talent anymore? Because the games I just saw, none of them have any artistic expression in them. I don't know, kind of sad, kind of super sad, to be honest. EA is a shell of a company now. I think EA has less competent staff than even Ubisoft. Even though EA is doing significantly better than Ubisoft, I think Ubisoft has more talent over there. At least they're making games. I mean, Assassin's Creed Shadows is better than anything EA's made in the last 5 years. So, I mean, I'll say it. All right. So, last week we started our gaming sins of the week, and we are continuing it this week with our second gaming sin, which is wrathful wrong weirdos. It's wrath. I also had an AI generated photo of your average gamer. That's all I typed in was average gamer, and it gave me this. So I thought it was accurate. He's got shit doo-doo all over his t-shirt there. He's got a keyboard that's about half the size it should be. It looks like it's missing a few keys. Yeah. He's got a Looney Tunes bump on his head like he got hit by a lampshade or something. Anyways, for example, gamer rage is something that affects all of us. I've even crashed out on the stream myself. I'll admit it. However, we have to make sure that we don't take things too far. It's reasonable to give a bad review or ratio someone on Twitter if they have a bad take. But we should never be threatening or doxing people unless they've done something super crazy, like a crime, and the police are like actively looking for them, and you dox them to the police. I guess that's like the one exception. But you shouldn't be doxing people just because they have a take that you don't like, or censoring them from your music videos if they have a take that you don't like. It's really not that serious, and it's important to remember that games are meant to just be fun, right? So kick back and play some Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Because whatever is causing you your rage is probably not that serious. It's really not. So I think that's something that we should focus on as gamers. Is like, you know, if we have a game that's like not good, just vote with your wallet. You don't have to threaten the devs. You don't have to make a big crash out moment about it. Honestly, if you say nothing about a bad game and just don't buy it, that will speak much louder than if you say, oh, it's woke, oh, it's DEI, oh, it's this or that. Like if they make like Dragon Age the Veilguard, and instead of like saying this game is woke, this game is too liberal for me, I don't want to play it, and then you make a bunch of posts about it, you're giving the other side ammunition to say like, oh, you're I don't know, you're the opposite of woke or whatever, you're racist, you're xenophobic, whatever they want to say. It would be so much more impactful if you A, don't buy it, and B, don't talk about it, right? Then they're sitting there with a bunch of copies of Dragon Age Veilguard, no one buying it, and they're like, where the fuck is everybody? And then they'll come to you and ask you, why aren't you buying my game? And you'll be like, cause it's dumb. I don't like it. And they'll be like, oh, heard. I guess what do you like? And then you can tell them what you want, and then they'll make that thing. I think that's a much better way to approach something that you don't like. But crashing out on Twitter and like calling someone like slurs or like saying that you're gonna like hurt them in real life is not it. It's not the way to do it. This isn't an example of like anything recent that happened, but it is something that happens. I mean, we saw it with Pirate Software. Like just the stupid controversy about fucking WoW. People were threatening him. It's like, it's not that serious. It's really not that serious. Like, chill out, guys. Anyways, moving on. Let's look at our community highlight of the week. It's Kezi's OBS app. So Kezi, you want to talk about this? What exactly am I looking at? You use ChatGPT 4.0 and you're generating game modifiers? So are these like challenges? Like, so it's like an OBS plugin you have. Does it, I see that it shows at the bottom. Here, let me try to expand this a little bit so you can see it. It shows at the bottom, it says launch Kezi's Game Changer to start, and then it'll like show different challenges at the bottom. So if you're playing like a game, you have to like do a thing, I'm assuming. I'm assuming the way that it works is you generate different like challenges, and it'll give you random challenges you have to do. It looks like it's for Fable Anniversary, so it says 100 Fable Anniversary challenges. Yeah, so it gives you one of them. Kick 5 chickens before doing anything else. That's cool. And then you have a timer on it that you have to do the thing. That's really creative. I think that's really cool. Yeah, adds a bunch more fun to streaming a game. It can work with any game. I've just made it for Fable. That's really cool. Make a wish at every well. I don't know if 5 minutes is enough to do that. That's crazy. Shout hiya every time you hit something. That's funny. Yeah, that's cool. That's a really creative way to use ChatGPT. I like that a lot. Well, good for you. That's a really cool thing to do. I can send you it. I'd be interested in taking a look. I have a tutorial video too if you wanted to see how it works. Sup, I just woke up. Welcome in, Clarence. We're just now finishing the community news, or the gaming news. We're on the community highlight now. Kezi made a really cool OBS plugin that'll give you like randomized chat GPT generated challenges for whatever game you're playing. I think it's so cool. But it looks like we have a secret bonus guy. I don't know what to call it. we have Ghost posting a few hours ago a section of a song I'm working on. Thoughts. Thanks. So we're gonna hear some exclusive Ghost music. Let's check it out. It's been a while since we heard from our buddy Ghost. It's almost got like a space theme to it, like a sci-fi space. I really like the violin. Space! Ooh, I like that. That's really cool. I'm glad he's working on music again. It's been a while since we heard anything from him. So I'm glad that he's still at it. That's really great. I think he's been growing a lot. Like he's definitely been getting better at making music and like making different sounds. Not to say that he was bad before, but like you can definitely see an improvement from when we first heard from him. You know, I mean, how long have we been talking to him for? Like a few months now, like back late 2024, and ever since we've heard his music the first time, it seems like each song is getting better. So I love to see that. I love to see the growth, and it's I think what's better about it is that he's expanding into different genres. Like he's trying different things. It's really cool. He's great at making like complex sounds in a way that I've never been very good at. So it's cool to see that. But that's about it. So I'll see you guys all in the VOD. Bye, you.